So, ladies and gents, the Beeb, not content with letting ITV take all the column inches, what with the shenanigans with Schofield on this morning, they've got one of their own people to do a bit, haven't they, eh? They're front and centre now in the press because of this presenter of theirs that sent this young person, is it 35 grand, for very, very, very dodgy pics. Who is it? I'll tell you what, Twitter and all those things must be going absolutely berserk. I've not got any of them. I've just looked online, I must admit, to see what they're all saying. And I've seen a couple of names on there. I hope one of them is wrong. I do, honestly. I quite like him. I mean, when I heard it yesterday, I thought, I've got two people in the frame for this. One of them does a bit of TV and a bit of radio work. I thought, he's got form for it. Yeah, I couldn't strictly rule him out. I thought, no, I couldn't. I thought, I couldn't rule him out, but they did say this person hasn't been on the airwaves or TV, whatever it might be, for the last few weeks. And I don't know if this person was on last week, but as I say, I couldn't strictly rule him out. There's another fella who I thought it might be, another fella who's got form, and I thought, it'll probably be him. Yeah, I thought it'll probably be him. I did, honestly. And I don't really like the person. No, I'm not that keen on him. I've said it before. There's no liking from me where he's concerned. But I don't think it's him. The two names I'm hearing today, well, one of them is a newsreader who I like. I hope it's not him. He's as old as me. I hope it's not him. I like him. And another one's a well-known comedian who I find moderately funny. He's a bigger name. He's bigger than all of them that's being bandied around, so maybe it could be him. But I know they're both married men and both with plenty of children. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, it does make you wonder. Well, why can't these people just take the big checks on a weekly basis and live the charmed life and just be happy? Why do they always have to something else? You know, I don't know. I don't, honestly. But I mean, they've probably spoilt this young person's life, really. This, you know, disappointing, isn't it, viewers? It is. It's disappointing. I mean, who can we trust anymore? Every week you pick up something and there's something else, and then there's something else, then there's something else. You know, it was only yesterday, it wasn't about Schofield, and I've got something else to follow about him, just thoughts off the top of my head, to be honest with you. And I know I'm doing people's head in with it, because it does mine in a bit, but there are only people in the news at the moment, and the people that you just think, well, why are you not happy being you know, you've got charmed lives, you've been very, very lucky in life, you've had lots of breaks, maybe some talent, but lots of breaks, you've done very well for yourself. Why'd you jeopardise it all for something more? Some people are never happy, are they, viewers? They're just never, ever, ever happy. I don't know. I wonder who it is. I wonder who you people think it is. When I say you people, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean you viewers, you know, our little community. I wonder who you're thinking it is. I would almost say, who would you want it to be? But that's an awful question. You wouldn't really want it to be anyone. But I'm sure there's people amongst those that are being accused that you wouldn't want it to be. I'm sure there's some amongst those being accused that you quite like. I was surprised this morning, old Jeremy Vine, first or second to come out and say, not me, Governor, it's not me, and I'll take action against those that say it is. Started his programme this morning, mentioned the whole scenario, didn't mention himself, couple of panellists on there with him, didn't mention himself. You would have thought he said, and by the way, you might see my name in the papers. For some reason, people were saying on Twitter it was me. God only knows why. I don't know who I've upset. But I came out straight away to say it wasn't me. And by the way, it isn't me. I can't understand why he never said anything. I mean, he's a big part of the story, him. Old Ryland, who I love dearly. Who else was saying it wasn't them? There was four of them anyway. Gary Lineker said it wasn't him. Somebody else said it wasn't him. I've even heard over the last couple of days, people are throwing old Graham Norton's name into the ring. Why would it be Graham? He's been gay all his life, hasn't he? I mean, he's supposed to be a young girl at 17, this isn't it? What's he going to pay money for to see a young girl unclothed? Especially 35 grand. He's got more sense than that. He's got a brain on him as Graham. I like Graham. If it was him, I'll tell you now, I'll just close the channel up and walk away. I'll be upset with that. I like Graham. I've got a lot of time for Graham. It better not be you, Graham. I'm telling you now. I won't be disappointed. I do like him. I like Graham Norton. Anyway, I'm sure within the coming days we're going to hear more. The police are getting involved now, and like somebody said to me the other day, I said, well, they can be innocent. Sometimes people are innocent, but when you think on, the Sun has obviously seen pictures of the bank accounts to show where the money's come from that this young girl's had, and I believe there's pictures around of the gentleman, whoever he may be, pictured in his underpants. So no doubt they've seen them. So I I don't suppose whoever's supposedly done it has done anything but have done it. That sounded stupid, didn't it? You know what I meant. But the worrying side of it, from the person's point of view, whoever's done it, I mean, I urge you today that because he's got pictures sent over the phone or whatever it may have been, or over the internet, from a 17-year-old, for all the age of consent for sex, he's 16, pictures over social media and all those kind of platforms, you've got to be 18 or above. If you're sending them under 18 and you're being coerced, especially, and someone's paying for them, it's a criminal offence, and it can entail jail sentences. Whoever it is, I would suggest they finish on T for the rest of their life. T? On TV! On T? Dave, think about what you're saying. I need a script sometimes. I shouldn't have a script, really. They finish on TV for the rest of their lives, I would suggest, but very disappointing. Why can't people just be happy with what they've got? Some people always want more. Yeah, I said that right.